Welcome to another edition of Podception. On today's show, we are going to discuss the positive and negative aspects of social media marketing. So, Luke, I'm going to start with you today.
What? That's a mouthful.
It sure is. Let's start with the dessert. What are the positives of social media marketing?
Well, it lets you
in your humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, it helps you get out there. Like, actually, people who you are trying to actually reach, you can actually engage with them and do a conversation. Like, I know an old podcast I used to watch, Legendary for World of Warcraft, had a personality who was just World of Warcraft based, who went by the name Devil Lore, and basically nicknamed Lore, and he used to run his own website, all this other stuff, all these social aspects, and then Blizzard hired him to be their social media manager of it to an extent, and so he's like their main developer who's always talking back on the forums to different people when they have concerns, like making jokes with them, just keeping a good rapport up with the general public, and that's good for business, I think.
Right. I mean, it's a quick way to get your stuff out to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's really no downtime. Once it's out there, anyone can look at it. So that's great. Negative aspects, what do you think?
Using it in an extent where it's exhaustive, where you're just ramming yourself down people's throats.
Right.
And trying way too hard, because that's the other thing. You can't try too hard when you're doing it. You've got to just let it happen naturally.
Right.
And just be consistent. If you're natural and consistent, it's good, and people appreciate it, especially if you give good feedback. But if you're not doing any of that, you're essentially just alienating your audience at that point. And you're becoming somebody that just is giving them spam, other negative things to that effect. But when you start doing that type of stuff, it's kind of like, okay, be a little more professional here.
Okay, kind sir, what do you think are some of the positives of social media marketing, in your opinion?
I don't know, because I'm as a person, I'm not I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on Twitter, I'm not even a good emailer. Let's just be straight. So it's really, and then being in the program we're in, you know, this is a weird learning curve for me, you know, because it makes sense. You got to be out there in some way, you know, especially in this field we're in. And if you're going to try to do something professionally, it makes sense because everything lives there. And it's at the click of a button. You don't even have to be in your home. You can be in anywhere with your little, you know, robot valet, and you got what you need. I guess I'm not really well versed as to say positives and negatives. You know, I think like what Luke was saying. What I kind of got from that is like, you know, if you're a professional, if you're a company or a business and you've got your online presence, maybe keep incendiary, personal, very opinionated things somewhere else.
Yeah,
because right,
or at least don't do it in a way that alienates entire groups of people when you're saying it.
Well, when you get, I mean, if you're talking about something that's incendiary and opinionated, the chances of upsetting people are much greater.
They're raised.
Yeah. So it's like at that point, you know, if you, I mean, to me, that's like inside voice. It's like you got to have some kind of governor inside to go like, why don't I do that on a personal site that's not this? Because people aren't here for my personal. So that would be a big thing, I think, for just as a person trying to figure this out for myself, is kind of keep that wall of, you know, have a professional, you know, presence and do things that are smart, that serve that function. And then, you know, to what extent I'll have to do a personal presence, I don't know. That'll be interesting for me, probably. What do you...
Well, I think one positive that kind of goes hand in hand with the that it gets out to a whole bunch of people is that at the same time, most social media allows for specific searches. So if your company's on social media and someone wants to know more, a lot of people might go to their social media and search before they even like go to Google and look at the company's website. I think typically a lot of people nowadays are going to go to the social media and then find the website through that, because they spend so much time on social media. Negatives, I think kind of like what Luke was saying, overusing it and then using it for the wrong reason. Like,
right.
just sending things out that people don't need to know about or don't want to hear about, or just, using it too often. I think there's a line that you just have to draw.
Yeah.
Like when you're on Facebook and you see the same exact post 20 different times from the same company, or it's
Yeah.
exactly the exact same story. They're just necroing the post, or just bringing it back from the dead.
Right.
And it's like, we
Right.
don't need to see this again.
But they're just killing it more.
Yeah, like I understand bringing back the awareness of it, but wait
Yeah.
a day or two before you do it. Don't do it like 3 hours later. Hey, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check this. 3
Yeah.
hours later, hey, you should really check this out. Hey, like another 3 hours later, hey, subscribe. It's like we got the picture the first time. Wait
Yeah.
a couple days before you do it again.
And see, that kind of thing, for me, even if it's something that I might have been interested in, now because of the way you put it to me, I'm not checking you out.
Yeah.
Okay. Here comes your favorite part of the show, our favorite part of the show, the 30-second random topic. And today's topic is sharks.
What?
Watch out. Okay, here we go. We'll start with Luke and then come around to Darin and to myself. Are we ready? And
Time the clock.
go.
Mako sharks can jump up to 17 feet out of the water.
I don't buy it. Apparently, they don't sleep.
They're not as mean as people make them out to be.
True.
They get confused easily.
One time, Fonzie jumped at least one shark.
Which is incredible. If you get a hold of them and tip them upside down, they go into a paralysis called tonic.
That they do.
Did not know that.
I think it's, I forgot the name now. Bull sharks are known to swim up through fresh water.
Oh!
That's over. We'll start with that genius fact from Luke. Thank you very much, sir. I'm going to
Right
shut this
on
thing
cue.
off.
Chili's
And-
done.
Chili's done. Oh, chili sounds good. That's going to be today's show. I'm going to go get some chili now. We'll see you later.
Bacon.